Well, hello there, people with internet, and hello again, I'm TheMBmulti, and welcome back to my Doki Doki Literature Club Purist, or DDLC Purist Mod series. In the previous episode, we finished the Yuri route, so we have one more route to go before the only one left is Monika, and that is the Natsuki route. So that's what we're going to be starting today. Alright, so now obviously we're going to be skipping all of the stuff that we've already seen before. Heading right up to the poem minigame. Right, so now we have to write a Natsuki poem. Which means I have to pick some Natsuki words. And those are itchy. Natsuki words. Skirt? Holiday? Flying. Oh, that's a Sayori word, apparently. Strawberry. Lollipop. Anime is definitely a Natsuki word. Fun? Oh, that's a Sayori word, okay. Pout is also Sayori, I believe. Sing? Oh, that's also Sayori. Ocean. That's also Sayori. Fuck me, man. Kitty has to be Natsuki. You can see that I very rarely write a Natsuki poem. Marshmallow. Jumpy. I do get to listen to my favorite soundtrack again, so that's nice. I always complain that they don't put the soundtrack in enough, because this is the poem minigame soundtrack, so they usually only put it in the poem minigame, and a lot of words don't have the poem minigame, so a lot of mods don't ever have this soundtrack, which really sucks, because this is my favorite soundtrack in the game. So the fact that I have to go back through the poem minigame again and again is nice, because I can listen to this, honestly. Swimsuit? Or I'm gonna go swimsuit. Yeah, there we go. Doki Doki is a Natsuki word, I know that. Papa is definitely a Natsuki word. Nibble has to be. Vanilla? Yep. Cute. Yeah. Oh, that's A. That's not wrong. That's correct. That's incorrect. We all know that Natsuki isn't cute. Or so she says. Sugar has to be a Natsuki word as well. Sunny? Oh, that's a Sayori word apparently. Clouds. There we go. Alright, well, I'm back at the Literature Club. Alright, so what was the last? Oh yeah, so everybody, yeah. I was expecting Monika to kick off some scheduled activity for the club, but doesn't seem to be the case. So Yuri and Monika are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in the book, can't help but notice her intense expression. And meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Ugh! I hear Natsuki utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her, in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there? Freaking Monika! She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point in keeping your collection organized if someone else is going to mess it up? Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga? You read manga, right? Sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't admit you're really into it until you figure out where the other person stands. How did you know anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack. There it is! Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. She then turns to a box of manga and slips the volume right into the middle of the rest. Ah, much better. Seeing the box set with one missing book is probably the most irritating sight in the world. I know that feel. I get a closer look at the box set she's admiring. Parfait Girls? It's a series I've never heard of in my life. That probably means it's either way out of my demographic or it's simply terrible. If you're gonna judge, you can go do it through the glass on that door. She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything. It was the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Mark. Consider this a lesson straight from the literature club. Don't judge a book by its cover. In fact, Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box. I'm going to show you exactly why. She shoves the book right into my hands. Ugh. I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire striking animated feminine poses. It's exceedingly moe. Oh yeah, I remember actually looking up what that means in the last time I played, or the last time I read it, I guess. But I've completely forgotten what it means, so I'll have to look it up again. Well, hey Google. Define moe. Related to anime. I might as well specify that, because if you pronounce that in Dutch, it means tired. Alright, in anime and manga, yeah, moe, pronounced moe, it's moe, whatever, refers to a strong feeling of affection, excitement, or adoration towards a fictional character, typically triggered by cute, vulnerable, or highly endearing traits. Originally emerging from Japanese fan subcultures in the late 1980s and 1990s, the term has evolved from a slang expression into a major marketing and design concept. Key aspects of moe include etymology. The word is homophonous with the Japanese verb moeru, to burn or to burn with passion, but is written with the character moeru, which means to bud or to sprout, evoking the image of a blossoming youthful charm. Moe anthropomorphism, the practice of turning non-human entities, objects, or abstract concepts like military hardware or operating systems or animals into cute human-like anime characters. Moe traits, specific design tropes and personality quirks engineered to trigger protective instincts in the audience. Examples include Megane, glasses, Daiko, clumsiness or helplessness, a tsundere, harsh exterior hiding warm vulnerable inside, hiding a warm vulnerable side. Kemonomimi, animal ears on otherwise human characters. Okay. So Megane is glasses. Just putting glasses on somebody, does that automatically make them moe? That's interesting. I never knew that. I must be pretty moe right about now then. Do you feel the urge to protect me? Do you have what was it? A strong feeling of affection, excitement, or adoration? Oh, actually, never mind. It's towards a fictional character. Well, nevertheless, who knows? Maybe I'm just a VTuber all along. Maybe this is all fake. In that case, do you feel a strong feeling of affection, excitement, or adoration towards me? Do I look particularly... is that triggered by my cute, vulnerable, or highly endearing traits, like my glasses? Like my Megane? I'm not necessarily clumsy or helpless. I'm not necessarily a tsundere either, and I don't have any animal ears, so I just have to have it for my glasses, apparently. Alright, well, now that we know that. So yeah, so it's exceedingly moe, so I'm supposed to have deep affection for these girls because they look adorable. Or helpless, or clumsy, or whatever. Don't just stand there. Ah! Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. Also, it's really funny that I mention that a tsundere can be considered moe because of, you know, the soft interior that they're hiding with their harsh exterior. And, you know, Natsuki is a tsundere, so that's pretty funny. That the manga she reads also has that stuff in it. Not necessarily that there is a tsundere character in the manga, but that the manga she reads has moe characters in it. Well, she herself is one of the traits of a moe character. Has one of the traits of a moe character, so that's pretty funny. Yeah, grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. She then takes a seat against the wall beneath the windowsills. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that. Why is that? I guess it's easier to be close together like this. Don't just say that! You make me feel all weird about it. Natsuki crosses her arms and scooches an inch away from me. Sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's a particularly bad thing. I opened the book. I opened the book. It's on the wrong... somehow I'm in the back. Oh, hang on a minute, it's a manga, so I have to start on the other side. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes I won't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Wow, how long has it been since I read the beginning? You don't go back and flip through the older volumes every now and then? Not really. Maybe sometimes after I've already finished the series. Hey, are you paying attention? I am, but nothing's really happened yet, so I can't talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. I kind of grew out of these, since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. So, what should I expect from this? Is there going to be plot? Well, obviously. You think I would enjoy something that didn't have a plot? I mean, well, I guess I know what you're saying. A lot of the beginning is about simple things. Like there's a really funny chapter where they're obsessed with a guy at the ice cream shop, but that just helps you to get to know the characters. And besides, it's still entertaining. But later on there's all kinds of drama, like when they get into all their backstories and when some of the romance starts to happen. That's really what makes it so good. There are so many touching parts. Oh, is that so? It sounds like you really know what you're talking about. Maybe I underestimated you. Hey, wait! What's that supposed to mean? Natsuki gives me a little shove. I just meant that I haven't seen you at your full power. Good save. This chapter seems like it's about baking. This is just a guess, but there is a lot of... Is there a lot of baking in this manga? Well, Natsuki pauses for a moment, as if she doesn't want to admit something. Yeah. Why does that matter? It doesn't, I was just curious. Since you enjoy baking too, right? That's just a coincidence! I just happened to get into baking around the same time I got this manga. Like, I would ever get into anything because it's in a manga. I feel bad for anyone that impressionable. Haha! Definitely not a coincidence. I guess that explains Natsuki's interest in baking. Still, of all the hobbies to pick from a manga, that's definitely one of the better ones. Not to mention, she's really good at it, so who am I to judge? Oh, hey Natsuki. We read for a few more minutes. I've finished a couple of chapters at this point. Are you sure this isn't boring for you? It's not! Even though you're just watching me read? Well, I'm fine with that. If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? You don't? That's not... Well, I wouldn't really know. What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? Jeez. Sorry. Like I could ever get my friends to read this. They just think manga is for kids. I can't even bring it up without them being all like, you still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes you want to punch them in the face. Ugh, I know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated toward the other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. I don't even know what my dad would do if he found this. At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monika is kind of a jerk about it. Ugh, I just can't win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am reading it. Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems. Maybe. But at least you're enjoying yourself, right? So? Geez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what? Yeah. I flip the page. Suddenly Natsuki starts laughing. I totally forgot that happens. Natsuki puts her finger on one of the panels. Minori is my favorite character. You always feel a little bad for her since she's so unlucky. But it gets especially bad when... I shouldn't be talking about that yet. Just finish this chapter. Natsuki's voice sparkles with excitement. It's a stark contrast to her usual bossy tone. But if she's not used to sharing her favorite manga with her friends, I can understand why. It's hard to express in words the feeling you get when connecting with someone like that. And being able to provide that to Natsuki, for whom it's a rare experience. The thought makes me smile a little to myself. Okay, everyone. Are you all ready with today? Are you all ready with today's poems? Oh, come on! Could your timing be any worse? Sorry, I just need to make sure that we have enough time. Though, you do look pretty cozy over there. Natsuki suddenly notices how close she's gotten to me. She hastily slides herself a good 12 inches away from me. Alright, I guess I'll stop here for now. I close the book and hand it toward Natsuki. You're just giving it back? Don't you want to know what happens? Yeah, but Monika just said, don't be dumb. Just take it home with you. Huh? Is that really alright? I say that mostly because I don't plan on using my spare time to read this. Well, of course. It would take forever to finish if you didn't take it home. Just finish that one before tomorrow so we can start the next one. And if it gets bent, I'll kill you. By tomorrow? I only got partway through the volume so far. I might fall behind on some shows if I try to get through this. But I suppose that's a necessary sacrifice in exchange for seeing Natsuki's enthusiastic face. Or am I more scared of what will happen if I don't finish it? Alright then. I stand up. I return to where I put my stuff and carefully slip the book into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monika enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monika wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monika's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Right, well, we'll start with Natsuki now for a change, and then go Yuri, Sayori, Monika. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair that I shared mine with her first. Triple dot. Okay, well, let's start with the things I don't like. First of all, Natsuki rereads my poem. Never mind, I don't feel like giving you my opinion. Then what is the point of you of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I want to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monika said. Well, I would be more comfortable sharing my poem if yours wasn't really bad. You were supposed to show me how dumb, some dumb poem and make me go, ha, well, it's not that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy. So, in other words, you're saying you liked it? Ugh. Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat. You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that. You don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important. Pretty sure you never actually said that. You or I? You. I say that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? Ugh, fine, I guess. Only because Monika will make me if I don't. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah, told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like this? Well, because. Everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly! I like it when it's easy to read but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening, so I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then I made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in that last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. Yeah, that's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. You didn't expect that one from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Well, Yuri is not going to like it very much. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh, sorry, I forgot to start speaking. It's fine, don't force yourself. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay, this is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might have been after reading through it. Oh, so it's that bad? No! Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we haven't really gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style they try to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, well, not when I'm reading, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost Under the Lights, the Tendrils, yeah, well, we know this one. We know all of them by this point. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, this story isn't about a ghost at all, Mark. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be too long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Sayori. Triple dot. This is a good poem, Mark. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the guy that would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. Well, that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course, I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean that I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Mark. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm going to make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That'll be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear Sunshine, I want breakfast. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No, just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least it makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah, I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice. Or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah, especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monika's the best. Yeah, but next time I won't forget. And I'm going to write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I'll look forward to it. Hi Mark, having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Mark. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monika my poem. I like it, Mark. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Oh jeez. No. Yeah, it kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer too. So take that as a compliment. If you say so. Yep. By any chance, have you read anything by Shel Silverstein? Huh? Maybe a long time ago? He's famous for telling all kinds of stories in just a few simple words. His poems can be funny, endearing, or even sad, and sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like they're written for kids, but if you think about them, they can express views of the world that would apply to anybody. I see. So you're saying that Natsuki is kind of like that? Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably won't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore. I'm sure we'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between the words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this poem? Whatever. Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Right, now we have the arguments. Well, we'll be siding with Natsuki. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, Yuri. Yuri, you're really talented. Well, but Natsuki has a point. I think that I racked my brain in an attempt to back myself up. I think that conveying feelings with a few words can be just as impressive as well. It lets the reader's imagination take over, and Natsuki's poem did a really good job at that. Yeah, it did, didn't it? Uh-huh. Shows how much you know. That's not Natsuki. I think that's enough. Huh? Me? But she was so mean to me. Natsuki's voice whines. Look, what we talked about yesterday was right. Writing is a really personal thing, and sharing it can definitely be hard. It looks like we learned that today. Even small criticism can lead to something pretty heated. I glance over my shoulder. Sayori is nodding vigorously. Yeah, so you don't need to feel threatened. You're a great writer, Natsuki. Natsuki's voice gets caught in surprise. Thanks for noticing. She finally mutters that, barely audible. Yuri? Yuri looks at me dejectedly. With a face like that, I can't help but feel bad for her as well. I'm sure that Natsuki didn't mean everything she said, so you don't need to feel threatened either. Well, if you say so. Hey, it's not like you need to apologize for me, Mark. Jeez. Natsuki takes a breath. The thing about... Natsuki glances around the room. Would everyone stop staring at me? Unsurprisingly, Natsuki has a harder time with it than she boasted. Sayori and Monika look away. Anyway, the thing about your boobs, I didn't mean it, okay? That's all. I did mean everything else though, but... Yuri looks away, avoiding eye contact with everyone. Yeah, you're naturally beautiful, Yuri. Sayori? I'll go make some tea. Huh? I was just trying to help. I'm sure she appreciated it, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. Well, now that we're past that, everyone's read each other's poems, right? I hope that it was worthwhile for everyone. Especially you, Mark. And to be honest, it's a nice change of pace from the lazing around we got a little too used to. So my joining the club was responsible for ruining the atmosphere? No, not at all, not at all. There's still time before we go home, so we'll all relax for a bit. Of course, besides chatting, we do literature-related things in the club room, so maybe you could take the chance to pick up a book or do some writing. After all, that's what the club is for. I disagree, Monika. About what? That's not the most important thing about the literature club. The most important thing is having fun! Of course. Well, I guess that's why you're the vice president, Sayori? In the end, though, Monika's right. Being in the literature club probably means that I can't spend all my time doing nothing. But in the end, I guess it's been worth it so far. Okay, everyone! There we go! Off to write another Natsuki poem.